It is Sunday morning, wherever you are, and LJ is here, and he's ready for the blizzard on the East Coast. I hear
20. We're getting 20 inches. I heard.
But I heard on the news last night. Isn't New Jersey under a state of emergency?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Sadly, it is.
Sadly, it is. So then,
Yeah.
where are you? So what do you do in a state of emergency in New Jersey? Just sit in the house?
So everybody goes. So it's always like a known thing that these state of emergencies. Like, listen, it's a lot of snow, but it's definitely enhanced and makes everyone go crazy. So if you went, once they announced it, if you went to like any of the grocery stores yesterday, it was a line out the door. Everybody stocks up on their chips and their preservables and all that stuff. Like, they're gonna be stuck inside the house for a year, and it's like a 2-day snowstorm. So everyone will do that, and then you basically gotta, like, for example, today it says the snow around like 2-3 o'clock Eastern. You kind of gotta decide what house you want to be stuck in for the next 2 days.
Right.
Before there, you gotta get to where you want to be.
Where do you want to be so you don't go crazy? Okay, I got it. And then I guess you'll watch lots of wrestling, I guess, while you're just sitting.
That's the thing. I've actually been, good transition into this weekend. I've actually been I always go back and watch old Rumbles and like old WrestleManias. I never go back and watch like old No Way Outs and Elimination Chambers. So I've actually been watching a bunch of old ones, and they're really good. I'm like rewatching a bunch of them that I've seen already and I haven't seen. So
you mean
that'll be a lot of that tomorrow.
I mean, a lot of Elimination Chamber, you're saying?
Yeah, like old ones. But they used to be called, the pay-per-view used to be called No Way Out.
That's right.
That's
right. It was No Way Out, and they changed it to Elimination Chamber. And speaking of Elimination Chamber, so after Friday Night SmackDown, this is what we've got in the women with one spot to go. I guess the shocker was Kiana James.
Yeah, it was probably the biggest like storyline out of SmackDown on like the internet.
It was kind of the shocker, and I don't get it, but you tell me: is Kiana James? Do you believe she is the push that she deserves? This push.
You want to know my feeling on this was that. Listen, I think she had a great performance in the Rumble. I'm glad she's getting the spotlight. I actually think she's actually not. As everyone tries to make it seem like she's a bad wrestler, I don't think she's that bad. And I think she's a very compelling character. I think her character works really well with everyone with who she's with. But a part of me feels like that this spot probably would have been given to Chelsea Green if she was healthy. I think that they switched it to her because she's very similar in the joking storyline person, but also like good in the ring. It feels like this spot probably would have been Chelsea's, and she probably would have been the one doing the exact same thing, even with the pin to the T, but they just flipped it to James because you can probably do that with them too.
Well, would they do it with Chelsea Green since they won't let her win anything?
So... I do feel like that was the switch, because I do feel like there's a reason that Charlotte's not in it. Like, I feel like there's a reason that they're doing that, and I'm assuming it's Alexa. You know what I mean? I guarantee you my thing goes off behind me whenever I say the name. The speaker, the Amazon speaker.
Oh, Alexa!
Like, every time I say it, it goes off.
So do you think so? Yeah, it is interesting. So Charlotte, this is your group so far. Now, who's the sixth going to be? Do we know who's it's in SmackDown, right?
I'm gonna do a quick
on Raw.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a quick search because I don't know. I know the men's, but I don't know the women's final one. I don't see it online, but I'm sure it's probably promoted. It's got to be promoted.
What about Sol Ruca?
I thought there was gonna be more NXT talent like on the show for the qualifying matches, at least.
There was a big discussion on Busted Open about Sol Ruca and like why she's got everything. She's like perfect for the main roster, and I thought she was on the main roster, so that was my confusion with her.
I was gonna ask you, did you watch? We didn't get to talk about it. Did you watch Did you listen to the Busted Open? That they did a show inside of WWE headquarters, I think, or one of those things.
What they did. It was
pretty funny though. I saw like a bunch of clips. I was like, oh, they're going crazy. They were like screaming at each other. It was so funny.
They were screaming at each other. It was a WD Content Creator Day for the 2K launch of the new 2K video game. Yeah. They had content creators go to Stanford at WWE headquarters and Busted Open doing a show from there.
Yeah.
In the men, we'll talk about this in a minute. and I will go back, but this is who we have in the men with the 6th spot open.
It's pretty stacked.
It's very stacked, but if I'm looking at just this, it reads to me like we're going to end up with Randy Cody and they fall apart and the end of their friendship, and Randy turns heel, and that's kind of what people are saying, and that's coming out of this, which I want to just say, Cody Rhodes always looks stupid running down the ring. I don't know what it is.
Like the way he looks running?
The way he runs down the ring just looks like, I don't know what it is, like runs down the ramp. So he comes out in the Aleister Black match, which is the talk of the thing, right? We have Aleister Black, which is a great match with Randy Orton.
Which I'm a very big fan of, and I really hope they keep. I really like what they're doing right now, so I want them to keep going and not go backwards with his character.
Right. So
that was a big win for him against Orton.
It's a big win. Orton.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, was there a moment that I missed? Was there a moment where why are people saying that Aleister Black was like playing mind games with Randy to make him turn heel? Is that correct?
Yeah, they did. So they've been kind of teasing that. Like he's had these backstage promos with Randy about like,
right,
where's that guy that used to punt people? And Orton was like, I don't need it to get anymore. And then Aleister was like, well, it's in there somewhere and we're gonna get it out of you. So I kind of like that. I think it's like a cool character. He like gets the evil out of people.
So Randy's going to be upset that he lost because I'm trying to think of the rationale here.
So the thing that's confusing to me that I actually, not confusing, but I kind of like, I'm interested where it goes, is because everybody, I'm also like, not just you, I'm also assuming it's like, it seems like they're teasing Cody, Randy. It seems like they're teasing all these other things, but they're also kind of teasing like a multi-man match for him, because he's costing everybody the title. He costed Fatu, he's costed Orton. I think he's gonna cost Cody in the chamber. I think Drew might like come in or something and cost Cody, and they're gonna set up. But I don't understand how that sets up. I'm intrigued to see where they go, but I don't know. They're setting up something. I think they're setting up like a big multi-man match for. I think there's like, but part of me feels like they're gonna do like LA Knight wins by controversy. Drew costs somebody again, and it's like LA Knight, Cody, Orton.
And then Drew. There was the whole thing with
Fatu.
And Fatu.
Yeah. And Fatu. I think it's gonna be a 5.
Maybe it'll be like a huge thing.
Or like a ladder match. That'd be cool.
I don't know, but literally Drew has destroyed everybody's match.
But I like it though. I think it's good what they're doing with him. I actually really enjoy it. It's like he's like, no, I don't want them to win, so I'm gonna cost him. I'm the
champ. I'm gonna screw everything up.
I was just very, very confused. Like the reason I think that's a bigger. Why I think it might happen with the multi-man match is because this match wasn't even for like a qualifying. It was just a regular Orton versus Aleister Black, and he still beat him up. So it was like interesting that he did that, because he really hasn't like mentioned Randy at all, Drew. So it's confusing. It's weird, but it's different.
Right. Well, they're teasing a lot of heel turns, and then we had Cody, Sami.
You like my mug?
Is that
I'm a little out of date right now.
Christmas mug?
It's a gingerbread man.
A gingerbread. I was just gonna say they're teasing Sami now as a heel as well, because then they have the thing with Cody backstage. Like everybody,
I really that backstage segment I really enjoyed, and then he went back and said I'm sorry, and everybody booed. Everybody booed. The crowd booed like crazy.
I mean, do you think Sami is turning heel?
They have to. They have to do it. He's so much more. I personally think he's so much of a better character when he's heel. I love his heel character better than face.
But if
I don't buy the baby face thing from him.
But if they turn him heel, here's the problem. Aren't we trying to get to WrestleMania next year, which is in Saudi Arabia? And isn't the plan for him then to be the champ?
I think more people think he's probably going to win the Rumble or contend for the Rumble next year. And then
so basically,
go to Mania. What was it?
I was just going to say basically everybody's turning heel against Cody, Randy, Sami. I've been wanting Randy to turn for a year now.
I still think, just like how we talk about Charlotte and Alexa, I do think it'd be a cool twist if Cody's the one who turns heel instead of Orton.
I do too. And
Cody freaks out.
On that note, Zephyr says, I was surprised that Kiana James won instead of Charlotte because I thought for sure they were going to have Flair and Cargill for the title.
Yeah, I agree because I really don't know where they're going to go with the women's because I don't. Obviously, like you would assume Rhea is like the favorite, but she's still the tag champ, and I don't know if they're gonna do anything with that at Mania. So, but like it's good because you can always just do Rhea Jade, and it'll be good. It'll probably be a good match. So
I could not stand this promo.
It was hard. It was rough.
It was rough, and I love Jade Cargill, but this was a rough promo. First of all, there's no legitimate challenger for her. She's kind of like stuck in the middle of nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's put her out here so she says something because we don't have anyone.
Yeah, I think that the plan obviously was for like we were talking about Bianca, and they had to kind of pivot from that. And I don't think it's a bad pivot, but it's the women's chamber is very open because I don't know where they're gonna go with that with that who's gonna win that. I have no idea who the favorite is because like I said, you would assume Rhea, but then what does Io do at Mania? Like she's not gonna have a tag title match. Like it's confusing.
But where we're at is Liv Morgan has not made her decision. We have the Stephanie Vicaire or Jade.
And I really wonder why they haven't made it like a announcement yet. Because like, what are they waiting for?
I don't know, but my girl Bianca Belair shared her surgery pictures, and then it was really rough to see that. And then watching her in physical therapy, bending the fingers and watching through that, I was like, oh. And I showed my physical therapist. I said, you got to see this. And he's like, oh yeah. I said, is that right? Like what they're doing with her finger and whatnot. And it was really tough. But now people can see legitimately her injury.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where they go with it.
It seems like she's not going to be back for a while, too. It seems like it's going to be another.
You cannot put her. I mean, she can't come to WrestleMania. I mean, there was a timeline given on this kind of injury. I think she would be.
Yeah, I really enjoy. I like what they're doing with the whole Liv Morgan thing. I just am confused on when they're gonna, announce that for her to maybe Chamber. Maybe she'll come out of Chamber and announce it on the mic, but I don't know. I'm intrigued because imagine she just chooses Jade and they flip it on us. That'd be kind of funny.
I'm just not loving any of it. It's a problem. I'm not excited about any of the women's matchups right now.
I think Liv Raquel is the most. It's not possible. Yeah.
How do we get there? Is my question.
Yeah, I think it's after Mania. After Mania, before we get it.
You're freezing up. Let's talk about Trick Williams, who got the pop of the night on Friday Night SmackDown, which was really incredible. And I'm really glad. I think he's amazing. I interviewed him, which was great. Is he a villain? Is he a heel or a face? Like, what's going on there? I'm confused.
I think he's a heel, but I think the crowd just loves him. It's like you like they kind of have to. Like it's like he's like a tweener because I feel like he's not really that mean like on the mic. He's not like a jerk. He doesn't like go at the crowd. He actually like enjoys the crowd. He's more of like a heel to the superstars, but a face to the crowd.
The crowd love to just do whoop that trick, and that's kind of like want to do that. They just want to do that.
It's funny. So I'm going. Like I said, I'm going on Saturday to Chamber, and my uncle texted me yesterday. He goes, "Just letting you know, I'm gonna be chanting whoop that trick the whole night." He's like, I have to at this point. I think he's like, I'm gonna buy a shirt. He's like, I'm gonna buy a shirt. He's like, I'm gonna do everything.
And this is a good question. SmackDown's women's roster is so depressing. All the big stars are stuck in the women's tag team division. That's true. I mean, aren't Io and Rhea just stuck?
Yeah, it's true. I was gonna say before the comment, like, what if they just shocked everybody and gave it to Trick and let him fight Drew at Mania? You know what I mean? Give us something. You can do something different right now. You really could.
There is
nobody would be upset.
Every every wrestling pundit that I watch, every commentator, every media person is like, the problem with WWE is it's too predictable. It's too predictable. Change it up. I don't care what it is. Like, just surprise me. I want, surprise me. That's the problem. It just keeps evolving, and it takes a lot of time to get to something, and then it doesn't happen. And by the way, what's in the box? We're now in part 2.
This was what we were waiting for.
This is what we're waiting for, and I don't care now. So what's in the box?
I don't know. We're gonna know at Chamber. I just don't know if it's something real or if it's something stupid. I really don't know. It's so interesting, but I like it. I actually enjoy it.
You'd be good if it's something so stupid, like back in the day with Vince McMahon, where it turns out to be
it'll be like a chicken in the costume or something.
Yeah. Like a doll.
Yeah.
I mean, like
maybe it's Vince McMahon. Maybe he's inside the box this whole time.
What was the thing with that car accident?
Oh yeah, that was big news. The body cam footage got released.
So was that him in court? I saw him in court.
Yeah, they released the body cam footage from a while ago. I think it was within the past year of him driving 115 miles an hour and fully crashing into somebody, and they let him go.
I saw.
They gave him a sermon. They're like, "Yeah, we know who you are. It's all right."
Now, you imagine if you did that, you'd be like,
you'd be
in prison for 30 years. So I don't get it. So yeah, I do think the women's thing is a problem. I do think Trick Williams would be amazing if it was Trick. I'd be down for Trick Drew.
Yeah, so what? Because it's different and it's something different. So what I was going to say about the men's was that
yes,
the only thing I'm assuming that I'm going to say that you probably agree is that last spot. I'm almost going to guarantee it goes to Bronson on Monday. Okay, it's Bronson, Grande Americano, and Jay. I think Bronson's going to win, and I think we're going to get a masked man costing Bronson, and then we probably will get the reveal. I think at Chamber,
Elimination Chamber. Who's going to be Grayson Waller, and we're all going to go. So what? And the reason I say that is because like it's you got to think. Let's say you have that scenario, then you have Orton and Cody. Personally, I'm not leaning towards either of them winning. I really don't think they are. But then who? Is LA Knight gonna finally get that win? Like a part of me thinks like LA Knight is the favorite right now because of like the way the stories are going. But it's still LA Knight. Same thing as Chelsea Green. Like they have a thing against LA Knight and they never push him. So a part of me is like Chelsea Green and LA Knight. Exactly.
I was like, LA Knight honestly is probably the one who deserves to win this. And if you go LA Knight Drew, it's gonna be a good match and maybe he gets the big win at Mania. But would you rather, as a fan? Would you rather LA Knight Drew and then get Cody Orton at Mania, or would you rather Cody or Orton win?
This is a really tough question because I do not see. Do you see a world that Cody Rhodes is not
in the main event?
Main event in one of the two nights.
That's why a part of me feels like the way especially with Drew costing Orton a regular match against Aleister Black, it feels like they're going to do a multi-man match at Mania. It's like they're fully setting it up. Like he's costing everybody that all this is going to be like, I'm sorry, I gotta pull some strings here.
So in your version of so let's say he cost Cody the match in Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
So then what happens? Or let's just say Orton goes against Drew. Or then what do they do? So what happens if Orton wins? Who does he wrestle? If it becomes a 5-man match with Drew?
I think the scenario they might be going is that Drew's going to cost everybody the match except for LA Knight. LA Knight's going to win. And I feel like then Cody has a reason to be pissed because he costed him. Orton, he costed him his match against Aleister Black. And Fatu, he costed him his match for the qualifying. I feel like it sets up everything because he thinks he's going to get away with everything. And he's going to be like, you know what? Now you're fighting all of them at Mania.
The ring on one of the following SmackDown goes, I want Drew. I want Drew. I want Drew. And then Aldous goes, all right, everyone's going to go at him.
And then everybody online is going to be like, well, LA Knight won, and now what? Now he has to give up his singles match,
and he gets shit on again.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't win. He probably. But I would be happy with a. It does. People always say they feel like multi-man matches are like a throwaway because they don't know what to do with everybody. So they're like, oh, let's put everybody together. But with this specifically, I think with all the months they have been doing this for a while now with the Drew and Fatu and Cody and Orton and these multi-man storylines, I think would be pretty interesting if they went that route. I wouldn't mind it at all.
I think if they did a multi-man match, I see Drew retaining coming out of Mania.
Yeah, which I'm happy about. I honestly want him to be pulled.
I think that would be cementing him for a while.
The only other person that I would be happy with winning at Mania is Orton, is Randy, because I think he deserves it. It's been a while since he's held anything notable.
I'm just feeling that it's going to come down to something's going to go down between Randy and Cody, or Drew will come in and screw it up so they think that each other did something to each other, and then their relationship falls apart.
Yeah, I am excited that Chamber does feel important, and it feels like it's very like we have to like watch Chamber because that's going to be like the last stop before Mania, and all this stuff is going to get finalized on Saturday. So we'll have a lot less questions on Sunday morning after really Chamber's over.
I heard from WWE.
Yeah, I will say the ticket as a fan, the tickets were extremely expensive for Chamber, like WrestleMania prices.
May I say, if you read all the reports, my understanding is WWE now wants to do a blackout in Chicago.
They're going to start doing it
to force people to buy tickets, which means to me they're not selling it out. That they're not going to let bars. They're not going to have these third run screens.
Yeah.
Which they're doing all over. They're stopping it.
Yeah, I've gone to a plenty of. I watched WrestleMania in the movie theaters a couple times. I go to like these watch parties for like the brunch, like they do the daytime like shows. They have like these New York brunch parties, whatever, and they watch it. So yeah, they want to in the local area. They want to block those out so people have to go or watch at home.
How come my background isn't the right background? I'm just noticing.
I don't know. I just realized it before.
I'm looking at your back. I'm like, what am I in?
Whose ring is this?
I'm like, what ring is this? This is not the right ring, people. The wrong background. I'm literally just realizing this. How did this happen? Anyways, okay. So we know Trick. We got that. Aleister, you're excited about. I do want to pivot to one thing with Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the Club Shay Shay interview with Seth or see this?
I did. I watch all that podcast. I watch everything. So I watched his.
I have to say this. I thought Seth was, if you do not know wrestling, and I am not and don't kill me, I'm not a fan of Shannon Sharp as an interviewer.
He's very on the topic of that real quick. He's I don't know if you saw a clip or a video or watched anything, but he did another former WWE superstar. He did an interview with Jelly Roll. I don't know if you saw that clip.
I did.
And Joe Rogan was like, you were on Shay Shay, and he asked you. Oh no, it was Burt Kreischer. That's who it was.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, you did an interview with Shannon Sharp, and he asked you something totally wrong, and you just went along with it for the rest of the thing. He goes, yeah, I felt too bad correcting him. He had the wrong information fully on his life. He was like, you lost everything, and it seems like he's not the greatest preparer.
No, but the problem was the thing with Seth and Club Shay Shay was that because of the questions that were asked and because of the way Seth explained everything, if you really didn't understand wrestling or what goes on, because Seth was so well spoken, you understood the stuff. The questions were pedantic, but Seth was great. And the great thing about Seth was I loved the stuff about the Shield. That was my favorite part about it. That he explained.
I didn't know some of that. I didn't know that they couldn't tell him, or they would have said no.
I thought it was.
That's one of my biggest what ifs. Is I still feel like they obviously it worked out for everybody, like including Moxley, like him going to AEW. That's like what he's supposed to be doing, and he's happy there. But they did end Shield a lot earlier than I thought they would at the time, and I was like, imagine they just went a little bit longer, and like you never know, it would have changed everything.
Well, I love the explanation. Like we were going great, and we were face, and we were this, and then we were told that night we're turning heel, and we didn't want to do it, and then I found out I'm the guy that's the one that's turning heel, that's turning on them. Like the whole explanation was really fascinating, that how that went down. I just thought he said a lot of really interesting things, and he still hates CM Punk.
So I was just about to bring that up. I was like, you know what? I'm starting to realize I feel like at some point we have to, because a lot of us, like as wrestling fans, think it's all like, you know, blurred and they work together. And trust me, they do work together. They've worked a lot of matches together. When you work these matches, you're preparing, you're talking beforehand. But I really do think they don't like each other, and they just do it because they are workers and they know how to make money, and they're not stupid.
The reason I ask this is
I think they really do dislike each other.
Well, what about when Seth said to Shannon Sharp, and I didn't know this, he basically said when Punk left, he tried to reach him. He left phone calls for him.
Yeah.
He didn't return the call. And honestly, I could see that Punk doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not surprised by that at all. And then he went and trashed the business for 10 years.
Trashed the business and left. And it sounds like Seth was really idolized Punk.
Yeah.
It also, when he was explaining face versus heel to Shannon Sharp, and everything he said was just right on the spot, like a finisher, the audience, like who's, you know, how you become a heel, what you do.
I really do think we're gonna be 10 years from now, and I think he's gonna be gone, and people are then gonna realize how important he was to everything. Not even the shows he's on. Like, I think he's the smart guy backstage. We saw in Unreal that he says he watches every single show on the monitor the whole way through. He's not like those guys who leave. He stays and watches everything.
Why do you think he's doing all these interviews? Yes, he's injured, but he's so well spoken. I'm saying Triple H goes, Seth is Triple H. That's what I could see.
Everybody says that Seth is going to take over for Triple H and Punk is going to take over for NXT because he does so much work with the NXT people. Which I can definitely see it. Punk already said that's what he wants to do.
I think Seth could run the show.
Yeah, like now.
Right now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and so I go back to you. Why do people have a problem with Seth Rollins? He's pretty brilliant and great in the ring. What's the deal? Tell me. Why is he not?
I don't know. Yeah, why is he not like on the Roman Reigns stardom level? That's to some people. And even though he shows up for work.
And he's there.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Yeah, I've always liked Seth. I always thought he was great.
I like Seth.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I've always thought that his characters, like, I like when guys try different things, and he's done so many different characters, and they've all pretty much worked. But as for you, like a Seth Rollins fan, this vision thing was never really working out.
No.
So they kind of, yeah.
But now what do? What happens coming up? Does he come back and
is he just the masked man?
He can't be the masked man, but that would stink. But I heard he might be back in time for Mania. I
saw that they were working, that it says that him and Bron are working their ass off to get back as soon as possible.
Which is the other question I had.
Also, so Lesnar is going to be on Raw tomorrow.
So does Lesnar end up in the Elimination Chamber?
Everybody's saying that he's gonna beat somebody up. He's gonna beat Javon up and take his spot.
They should give the whole thing to Javon and just knock us all.
So I was gonna read this. So these are the people I follow, and it says, "What is the ideal WWE title match for WrestleMania in 8 weeks?" This was posted this morning, and somebody said they've booked themselves into a corner with this main event scene on SmackDown. A singles match between Drew and Cody just doesn't sound exciting at all if you think about it. If you go with a multi-man championship match at Mania, you're kind of making the Elimination Chamber feel useless, which is true because you're supposed to get a one-on-one shot. And it says the latter option is still better, in my opinion, considering what the current situation is. And then someone said, as they have 7 weeks after the Chamber, I'm wondering, does all this punish Drew by making the Chamber for the title? It says a seven-man Chamber has been done before multiple times. Because he's got to punish him at some point. He's doing all these things and ruining the show.
I mean, how long are they going to let him do this? You want it to go on forever. Just ruin the show.
Yeah, I would really. That's why I like it, because it's very like up in the air on what they could possibly be doing with this multi-man match, and who's gonna get where and who's gonna fight who. Because the Mania card really is open. There's not many. There's only one match, and it's Roman and Punk, and we still don't even know that's technically the match until Chamber.
I mean, I'm trying to find out who is in the match tomorrow
For the women's?
Oh, Bron Speed. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't see Grande. I don't see Grande Americano, and I don't see Jay. It's gonna be Bronson.
Yeah.
Unless the Masked Man
reads up Bronson
again, because he's been doing it on Raw every week.
Then they'd give it to Jay, right?
Yeah, probably.
Who can't wrestle in there. There were some interesting developments on Britt Baker. So we were talking about Britt Baker, and there was a
last show
viral interview that just came out. She was at the Super Bowl party, or she's on a red carpet, and the person asked, "Are you coming back to wrestling?" And she said, "I just love that the fans are still talking about me. Keep the chatter up because I love it. Stay tuned." And then she's no longer DMD. She's not a full-time dentist anymore, because she said some scary wrestling fans wanted to kill me because she's a bad guy in wrestling. It was kind of a non-answer. So
they need her.
But the answer was kind of like.
And there's also big developments on, another AEW talent, Chris Jericho.
Yes.
That we now hear. Yeah, okay. We have now heard that his contract is frozen. So he's not coming back to WWE at all anytime soon.
And what does contract frozen mean to you?
It means that they don't want him to go to WWE, and they're gonna delay it as much as possible with AEW. I can't believe that these contract things always happen with these AEW people. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I don't understand even what happened with Britt Baker.
Yeah, like, is she even a free agent, or is she still under contract too? You never know.
There's a statement from Tony Khan that was so weird.
That's the one thing with these. Like, it's so funny because, like, you have these contracts, but for some reason in professional wrestling, you never actually know whose contract ends and when, and there's injury time and extending. You never know. Like, you never know when somebody's actually a free agent. It's weird. So we're not getting Jericho's not in the box.
Wouldn't it
but did you hear?
Jericho was in the box with this frozen AEW.
Did you hear what the big rumor is for the box though? That everyone's saying that they think it's him. Everybody thinks it's Danhausen because he's a free agent.
Oh, yeah.
Which
what?
I think he'd get a pop, but I don't think it's. Who cares? Like, why does it matter?
Who cares?
I've never been the biggest fan of biggest like mark for him. I get it. Like, I get the character's funny, and
I don't.
It's like art. It's like the art truth of AEW, but I don't.
It's like art house wrestling. Like, it's like, okay, like face.
Yeah.
I don't know. There were a couple other developments on Collision last night. First of all, did you see this?
I did see the clip online.
So this was amazing. So basically, FTR is wrestling the Young Bucks. They go out in the audience. The Young Bucks' dad is there. I don't know if it was Stokely Hathaway, some mist went in the guy's face, and then they grabbed the brother, Malachi Jackson, and they pile drived him. And then wasn't it Jungle Jack Perry coming down the ring to save them, and then he got hit by Ricochet?
Yeah.
It was kind of like a really good melee, and this is kind of what happened. So what is this? And then I guess, did you see it? What did you think?
I saw it online because I get all the clips online, and I'm not as into the storyline, so I don't really know who's with who and what. Because I feel like in AEW, there's teammates are with other guys, and they join forces.
FTR is bad. Young Bucks.
Yeah. But I liked it because I'm not a big fan of the Young Bucks, so I like when they get beat up and smoked. So I was like, oh, this is different.
And the other thing that's going on that's shocking is Swerve. So
he's a heel now, right?
Now a heel, but
yeah,
I don't understand how he got there. I guess he's hating Kenny Omega. Then he used a chain on Kenny Omega, and he came out with a tweet that said X on Hangman Page, X on Young Bucks, X on Omega. So I thought a month ago Hangman and him were working together.
I Swerve is like one of the few guys that I really enjoy what he's like everything he's done that I've seen on AEW. Like I've tuned into most of his big fights. I mean, like the one against Danielson was amazing, like last year, a couple years ago. But I'm very intrigued because I've been trying to watch a little bit more, like we've talked about. So I've been like trying to catch like once in a while, and I'm very intrigued by this whole storyline. I'll ask you about it with the whole John Moxley. I mean, not John Moxley. Adam Page and MJF, because this is the same stipulation that Cody gave himself, and it ended up being the reason he left, because he could never challenge for it ever again. And he really did say, "I'll never challenge for it ever again." And like, then if you lose, then what is the point of you being there? You're always supposed to go for the big title. So what do you think this is? Do you think he's gonna win?
So here's the thing: there was a whole thing about this
because the internet is split. Some people are so mad about that because they don't like when you give these ultimatums, because it feels like he's just gonna win now. Because, like, what is he never gonna challenge for the title ever again?
Problem is, over the time when MJF was gone, and Hangman never lost ever to MJF. When there was the Samoa Joe thing, who won the title, and then when they were in the 4-way or the thing, he didn't get pinned. So they're trying to tell us that MJF and Adam really never challenged for it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's in LA. I don't know. It feels like I am a huge Hangman fan because I think Hangman is the best wrestler. Like, to me, he's like old school and does all the moves. And I don't know. I think I think MJF's great too. I think it's a great match. I have no idea what you do. These are your two big stars.
Yeah. And it just feels weird to like take it off MJF this quickly, and I like what he's doing, but I don't think you can have someone like Adam never challenge for the title ever again, or he just says I don't care, but you can't really do that. So
I mean, it's the best match though of everything. Who wouldn't want to see Adam Page and MJ? That's a great match.
He'd probably be the second most popular match on the Mania card if you were put on WrestleMania right now.
Them and Punk Reigns.
Yeah, it probably.
The other thing about next weekend, well, I know it'll be a great match between Punk and Balor. I just don't understand what we're doing. There's really no. It's like I'm in Chicago. I'm here.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like here's your match. That's what it feels like. Unless we need some type of development when it comes to the Judgment Day stuff. That's the only way this match makes sense. If somebody screws somebody over, and then you get Dom and Finn at Mania, because that's like the only way this makes any sense.
I would turn Finn face, but nobody likes that idea.
Yeah, everybody wants Dom to turn face, but like it's like I don't know. I kind of like him as the heel.
I think Dom is just so. I don't know. I wouldn't do that either. But you brought up a good point about. I also wanted to tell you there was a huge discussion about AJ Lee, and the discussion was on Busted Open Radio, and the discussion was the way she comes in the ring and is so condescending, and the way she talks, she's a heel. People were saying the way she talked to Becky, the way she presents herself. Yeah. In what world would she not be a heel? So they're saying they would rather have her as a heel. I think talking to Becky is
whatever makes her start talking more naturally, because everything she says right now seems so scripted. I know, and I know it's scripted, but you got guys like Seth who come out there and they talk and they don't. It sounds like they're talking. She sounds like she's reading off of like her script that she gave her, and it really bothers me. Like, and I hate to say that because I love her. I'm really happy to see her in Chicago, but I'm worried about the one-on-one match because she really hasn't had a singles match in 10 years. So I don't know how it's gonna go, and I'm hoping they can prove us wrong, but I feel like it's gonna showcase a lot of bad things if it is a bad match. You know what I mean? It's gonna be right there for you to see. They're the only match on.
I think there's gonna be a lot of antics, which takes away the pressure for her to wrestle so much. Yeah. And I'm also wondering, is she gonna lose in Chicago?
I think she's gonna win.
So then she becomes the champ, and then there's
I think she's gonna go into Mania as the champ.
So then she has to do a match at Mania against Becky.
Yeah, that just feels like I don't know. I don't see her losing like clean. because they're gonna want to try to protect her. And like Becky doesn't really have anybody that's gonna come help her. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I can totally see Seth taking over as creative director. Yes, I agree. That's why I really think he's the best. He's so passionate about it. There's nobody on the roster. It's not Roman Reigns, kids.
Yeah, when he's gone, he's gone. He'll be done.
I mean, yeah. And yes, we already know that Finn is going to lose to CM Punk. I know. It's kind of like...
Or just shock us. Just shock us and give us the win. Give us the Finn win.
Be okay of going to Chicago, LJ? You went to Chicago and you're going to watch Punk lose in his hometown?
I would love it just because it's different. I would have no problem with that. Could you imagine him in Chicago holding that title up? He would cement him as a heel, and it would be great.
That would be good.
Yeah, him standing there with the title over his head.
Debris being thrown in the ring. Cups.
I think it'd be awesome.
That'd be good.
They'll never do it. No, like I'm not gonna buy it.
They'll never do it. Okay, so in wrapping up, what did you think of SmackDown? You liked it.
I think it's SmackDown and Raw are night and day. I think Raw has been so freaking boring, and if you took what I'll say is I think if you took, which I'm saying on line of, and I strongly agree, if you took the main event scene on SmackDown for the men and combined it with the women's scene on Raw, that'd be your best show. That'd be one long show that was great. But they both have these negatives that really takes away from the show. Like the Raw, anytime they do anything with the woman, with the men main event scene, it just feels so, because Roman's not there and Punk's out here talking to Finn, and it feels like it's just them two. All like Raw really is, when you think about it, it's kind of weak when it comes to the talent for the men. But on SmackDown, you have Drew, you have everybody involved in the chamber. You have Drew's the champion, Cody's there, you have Fatu there. It's Raw is literally just the Vision and Liv Morgan just yelling at each other.
One problem I have with SmackDown, and I didn't realize this until everything switched, meaning when Raw went to Netflix and they moved SmackDown went to USA. I originally thought SmackDown was the weaker show, and there was just so much commercials, and but it's been really good.
I've enjoyed it. I think it's funny, like the stuff they do. Like I like Nick Aldis. I think both managers are great, and I think they both do a really good job. They're really good on-screen characters. They really are.
There's got to be a WrestleMania match between the two, with something,
or something, just something or they're the man, like they're the coaches of like a team at Survivor Series or something. Like it'd be funny. I think they got to do something with there, because
do we even know who's calling Adam Pearce? No,
and you know what? I'm starting to think that it's just a cop out, and I don't think we're ever gonna know. I think they just used it as like he has to give him this match because he called somebody. I don't think we're ever gonna find that out, because now they don't even really mention it anymore.
I don't know. I feel like they've got to come up with some trick out of their book for WrestleMania for the prices they're doing, and to sell. Like they need a big thing,
because Mania is very, very low ticket sales right now. Extremely, extremely low. Like they're scrambling. And maybe it has to do with last year being in the same spot, and it was terrible. I mean, you were there. You said it took like hours to get out of there, didn't you? It was like the most miserable thing ever.
It's miserable. I was thinking it was going to be in New Orleans like we planned, and we just go to New Orleans and you're there, and I mean, it's great.
Especially after when they announced New Orleans, I was so happy because I had just been there for the Super Bowl last year, and it was one of the best times of my entire life. New Orleans was amazing. Like
I think I've never been there.
Oh my God, I've been to Vegas twice and New Orleans once, and New Orleans blew it out of the water. It was so much of a better town. It was beautiful. There was so much culture to see, and there was so much to eat. I ate like a ridiculous amount, and it was so cheap over there. And then you have Vegas, which feels like a complete opposite of that. Everything is so bright and happy. And
people is that it's not what you think. I'm sure many of you have been to Vegas, but the problem is it's from one end to the other. Yeah. Like I said, the Fountain Blue is where I was, and that's where the wrestlers were. And then the Allegiant Stadium's on the other side. And then you have to try to figure out how to get back and forth. And it was just a lot of stuff going on. And it was just kind of hard to navigate it all. So It just a lot. It was just, I felt like everybody I talked to that went was just like exhausted by the end of it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't easy. Like, we're going to go here and then we go back home. It was just hard.
Yeah, I saw people running up escalators the wrong way because they were trying to get out of there.
Couldn't get out. You couldn't get out. I mean, I just literally sat in the press box for a long time.
It does, personally, it does feel like the build is a little different this year, and I am excited. I think the Mania card will shape up to be a little bit better than last year. I will say the one thing, because we could talk about Raw tomorrow, like we talk about the preview for tomorrow. You got Lesnar coming back. They have him doing like a promo, so I guess we'll see what happens. Obviously it'll set something up, whether it's Oba or Gunther or whatever they're doing. Gunther, we have no idea what he's
doing.
There you
go. They love Gunther.
Yeah.
So I mean, Gunther's their guy. So and also, do we not have the AJ Styles thing?
Oh, and we have the AJ Styles tribute, which supposedly they said online that they're flying in SmackDown talent. Everybody's going to be there
for him to say, "I'm not retiring."
Yeah, that's what it feels. It feels. I feel it. It feels like it's gonna be something of a cop out.
What if Gunther comes in and just beats the shit out of AJ Styles?
Then I'd be fine. He goes, here, this is your reinstatement match. If you could beat me at Mania, then you're done.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. And you can do that. Nobody will be mad about that. That's perfectly fine. Like, you know what I mean. It didn't. The retirement match didn't even feel like a retirement match. Him putting his gloves back on. It was. I don't know.
I think you're right. I think Gunther comes in, ruins the tribute. There's a clause, and it's Styles and Gunther at WrestleMania.
And then, so let's just say, assume they don't do Gunther Lesnar.
Can I just say, people are probably thinking we're so stupid, but go ahead.
Let's just assume they don't do Gunther Lesnar. Where do you think they're going with Lesnar for the Mania? Like, I don't even know where they go with this. Like, who's he even going to feud with?
Drew.
He could win the Chamber. If you want to go star power, you can go Drew Lesnar. They had a match in no crowd at Mania. You could do the rematch there. There's definitely news for that.
And Zephyr says, "Look at the yeah." LJ, the price is like $8,000. Like,
well, I'll tell you, for Elimination Chamber first, the cheapest ticket is like $320.
So if I'm for $320, I'm up in the boonies.
You're sitting like in heaven.
Yeah,
like literally, like that's weird.
Heaven, it's $320. If I go down to the floor, what am I talking?
It's like probably five. No, like the first level is like $600-$700.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, and to think that it's that price, and part of me is like that I'm intrigued to see and happy to. I've never seen it before. Is like I've only ever seen in my entire lifetime, which is funny. I've only ever seen out of all my live shows one like match where the ring is covered by something like a cage. Yeah, and let me tell you, it's hard to see through that cage when you're in person.
I've had that happen too. You
like can't. Chamber, I think, is specifically meant to be watched on the TV. Like it really is, because that's fully surrounded with all these bars, and so like you kind of have to be close so you can see through, not like far away. And then if you're far away, how are you going to see anything?
I mean, you realize when they pull out, like you realize there's a cameraman in the ring in these chamber, there to get the action. How else are you going to see it?
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of looking at the screen, I feel like, in person.
So what is really weird about that, and you make a great point, is so much of this is, as you know, from going to the press room and all that, is without seeing the reactions and seeing it, you're kind of like, I don't know what's going on. It doesn't translate.
Even the whole, you can reference last year, even the whole scenario that they did last year with Cena watching Punk get stomped, pull him in, and like say, I'm sorry, I don't want to do this. Like, you would have not seen any of that. You have to rewatch it when you get home, and then you see that after. That was a big part of the storyline of him turning heel, because he saw it happen. And like, they wanted that on camera.
Do you see? You talked about it earlier. Before we wrap, we're gonna wrap. Do you think? You mentioned Cody turning heel? Is this going to happen at Mania?
I don't think they're gonna pull the trigger.
I can't imagine they're gonna do it. I just don't think they're do it.
He sells too much merch, I think. I think he's too much of their guy. And
what do they do with Jey Uso, who sells too much merch?
Him and Jimmy will fight. Like, but what? I don't even know what tag team are they gonna fight. I don't even know. I'm just not buying it. Jey needs to do a character change immediately.
So Sami, Jey, who else? Randy. These
They're
are
all
all
gonna they all need to
all
turn heel.
Dillinger in a faction. And then and what I don't. Why are the MFTs wearing makeup?
Hey, real quick, talking about MFTs, I'm enjoying what they're doing right now. They're making them seem like an actual, like they're beating Ilya like clean. Like I enjoy it. I actually think it's different. I like them. I actually like the makeup. I think it's funny.
But why are they wearing makeup? I missed this. What is the purpose?
I'm not exactly sure, but I like it.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't know why they're wearing makeup, which threw me for the last several months. But everybody was really all about Tama Tonga, how great he was, which he's great.
He's been and he's pinned like big time guys the last few weeks.
Guys, so maybe they're giving him a push. It seems,
and he's actually pretty good in the ring too.
And what are they? But it's solo. He has nothing to do.
He's just like the ruler of the MFT. I think his character's funny, but maybe that's just what his character's going to be like for now.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm really not feeling this road to WrestleMania. There's really nothing I'm excited about. Yeah.
You know what I feel like a big part of that is that I see a lot online that feeling, and I feel like maybe we're just none of it is as good as the build up for Cody Roman those 2 years we had it in the Bloodline story. So after that, it's been over. It's felt a little like underwhelming because we had these storylines that were going years and years in play. Like you always get a few manias where that's the case, where it's like when you had Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and you get these long builds, and now it just feels like it's just Rumble, Chamber, Mania. It doesn't feel like these long calendar year builds for Mania anymore because we had the Cody Roman.
Maybe that's because, back to Zephyr's comment, we need Seth to take over as the creative director to fix this.
Yeah,
because you know what I'm saying. It's just
we did get a new. They did say that there's a new writer on SmackDown, so
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, maybe they'll pull it out. Maybe we'll all be like, in a month from now, we'll be like, that was the best WrestleMania.
Or maybe we'll be talking. Maybe we'll be talking on next Monday and about how Trick Williams won the Chamber.
I mean, maybe coming out of Elimination Chamber when things are more solidified, be like, oh, maybe.
Yeah. I think Chamber's gonna be good. I think we're gonna get some stuff, some excited things there. I think they're gonna set some stuff up for Mania.
All right, so we're gonna be back this week because we have several things to do. We have to have our Elimination Chamber prediction show,
our Raw post show,
and then you're leaving for Chicago on Friday.
Friday night. Friday at like 5 p.m., 6 p.m.
Friday for 6 p.m. to go to Elimination Chamber, and so we have that, and then we have to figure the coming out of Elimination Chamber and Raw. So this is a big week.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I think from out of that, I think maybe we're all going to be. Maybe we got to give them. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they'll something great up. We'll see.
I'm hopeful they are. I think they are. I think it's going to be a good build up after Chamber.
All right, so I hope that this year will not be as bad as last year.
It'd be hard to be worse. It'd be hard to be worse. You know what I mean?
Wait,
it's like
and Cody last? Wait.
Yeah, and it was the worst match ever. It was like the worst.
Yes, I was there. Yes.
He won, but it was terrible.
Yeah. I agree. All right, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll be back. All right. Thanks.